Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. Rowpaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Joining B.J. Rains today is KTVB Sports Director Jay Tust. Check him out on Twitter at KTVB Sports Guy and make sure to check out KTVB.com. Now here's Jay Tust and B.J. Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? Jay Tust going to join me very, very shortly. I started the show a little bit early today, so that's on me, not on Jay. But how you guys doing? This is Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. B.J. Rains with you, as I said. We're going to talk Boise State basketball. We're going to talk a little off-season conditioning as well. We got a ton to talk about on today's episode of Bronco Nation News Live. As always, we're broadcasting from the Cutwater Canned Cocktails studios. Pick up more than one of their 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. And our title sponsor, Rowpaint.com. BNN15 is that promo code. Please use that promo code BNN15, and it gets you 15% off the interior painting of your home. So we're appreciative of Rowpaint.com and hoping to get them some business this winter. Jay Tust, as I said, is with me for a Tuesday edition. And Jay, I told you before the show, we've got to be off right at 9:30. I've talked about this the last couple of episodes, so most of our viewers are aware of what's going on, but dealing with a little issue with some mice down in the pantry downstairs in the kitchen. So
hey, we're used to you pestering us, so somebody finally returns the favor.
This is the first day, though, of the last three where I did not catch one in the trap when I woke up. So we're
what?
Maybe we're making we're at 5 live mice and counting that we've caught, 1 dead. So that's 6 total mice in our house in the last 3 days. We had 4 in about a 16-hour span or something. But I now have the cleanest pantry and food cabinet in all of Boise because that thing has been and unfortunately, there's basically no food left in there, so it's empty also. We have the emptiest one in Boise probably, but no, we have the are they called mice exterminators or the pest control, or I'm not sure what the correct name is, but they're coming around 9:30, so I asked them to not come early, but we'll see, because I'm also leaving at 1 o'clock, flying down to Las Vegas today. I'm sporting the Circa cap. We'll be broadcasting live tomorrow morning from the Circa Sportsbook for our morning show with John Mallory tomorrow. And then our private jet winner will arrive tomorrow around 1, and we'll have coverage all day leading into the UNLV game tomorrow night. So a lot going on today. And yes, the mice exterminator is on the way, and we're hopefully getting closer to getting this problem taken care of.
Yeah. Wow. Man, that's crazy.
Yep, and it just shows you, while my wife was gone for 9 months, how much I was using the flour and things in the back of the cabinet, because who knows how long that's been going on. But the kids found one in the garage. We didn't think there was a problem. My wife got scared, said put some traps out anyway. They go to the Utah State game. They come home 3 hours later, and there's 2 live mice already in the traps.
Wow.
So we go to bed, wake up the next morning, and there's 2 more in the trap. So as of Sunday morning, from like Saturday at noon to Sunday morning, we had 4. Did all the cleaning, all the things, and then by yesterday morning there was 1 more. But today I can report so far I haven't seen one yet. So
Okay, well, that's good at least.
So,
All right, go in the right direction there.
We are. We invite folks to jump on in the Idaho Central Credit Union YouTube chat. Jump on in. Give us your comments, your thoughts on how to get rid of mice. Many of you have said to get a cat, but the cat may be just as disliked in this house as the mice. We're not big cat lovers in our house, so I'm not sure if that would work. But jump on in. Give us your thoughts, your comments in the Idaho Central Credit Union YouTube chat, and we'll get to those here throughout the show. Jay, we got Boise State basketball talk leading us off. I do want to maybe get into a little football talk because there's still some uncertainty with some of the super seniors and things. Tried to reach out to Boise State yesterday, and they said they're not ready to announce which super seniors have decided to come back, but the workouts did start yesterday. So me and Prater touched on that yesterday, but we can get into that here in a little bit. But I do want to obviously start basketball. Big win against Utah State. Big game against UNLV coming up tomorrow, and things are looking a little better than a week ago when they were 0-1 and coming off a tough loss to Nevada.
Yeah, it turns out that that loss at Nevada. I mean, there's a lot of teams losing to Nevada right now, right? So you get a little bit better perspective, I guess, as the season rolls along. And at the Nevada Wolfpack team's a good squad. Looking at this stretch of basketball for Boise State, though, BJ, I mean, one could argue it's their toughest stretch in Mountain West Conference play. And I know a lot of things will change with quadrants and stuff like that as we get further along into the season. But Boise State right now is in a stretch where they'll play five quadrant one games in a 7-game stretch, and more recently 4 quad one games in a 5-game stretch. And they beat Utah State. Now they go on the road again for another quad one game at UNLV. They return home next Tuesday for a quad one game against Nevada. And then the following Friday, they have a quad one game at New Mexico. And the funny thing is, in between all that is a trip to Laramie, Wyoming, which is at the moment a quad 3 game. So your breather is a trip to Laramie to take on the team that was picked to finish second in the Mountain West Conference preseason poll. This is a difficult slate of games coming up for the Broncos.
Well, don't try asking Leon Rice about that. I started the question yesterday, a big stretch coming up, and here's what Leon Rice had to say.
I know you're only focused on UNLV and Wednesday, but I mean, you look at the next.
That's right. Nope, I don't. I don't look at the next.
Yeah.
We don't. So I'll stop you right there. You don't even ask that question because I don't know what you're talking about. You're speaking.
Well, you didn't want to say it.
Yeah, but you're speaking Russian because I have no idea what's next. I know what's next, UNLV. That's it. So that's the answer, no matter what the question is beyond UNLV. I don't even know. I know that every league game is going to be hard, but if there's something else that you'd like to ask other than beyond UNLV, there's nothing I see beyond there. There's nothing that's our next mountain. Today's practice is the mountain we got to climb, and we're good at focusing on that. And that's another thing for you guys. And it's every game. I mean, you look around the league, I mean, it's crazy, like what Mexico's got right now. They got Oral Roberts tonight, and then they got San Diego. Everybody's got that. That's the way this Mountain West is, and these environments. And I mean, it's a heck of a basketball league, no doubt about it. And I've said that all along, and now I think it's become the deepest it's ever been. The deepest. There's not one night where somebody can play a C game and win if the other team's playing good.
So Leon Rice stopped me before I could say, because I don't even know what you're asking. I said, well, yeah, you didn't let me finish. But they're back in the one game at a time coach speak, can't look past the next opponent. And, last year, as you know, Jay, they after getting off to a rough start, they kind of had this little metaphoric and literal mountain in their locker room, and we're adding pieces to it. And I guess they initially were not going to do that again once they lost to Nevada. Maybe kind of realized the focus maybe wasn't where it needed to be. So we found out from Kobe Young, who kind of let the cat out of the bag, and then Leon wasn't like super happy that that got out. But they have restarted this literal like ladder step up the mountain where each game they're crossing one off and moving up to the next one, and they've crossed off 2 in a row here with the wins over San Jose and Utah State. But I mean, come on, obviously Leon knows who they're playing next. They go to Wyoming on Saturday. It's a lot of coach speak, but I guess it is a really, really difficult stretch. And when you look at it, as you said, 4 and 5 quad one games, yeah, it's extremely tough. But if you just take it, I guess, one at a time and try to win tomorrow's game, then it becomes 3-4 or whatever the next time. So that it gets a little slow. So I guess he's saying the right things, but and I guess it is kind of the goal is that if you can try to make it think of smaller things instead of 4-5 or 5-7 or whatever it is. But certainly this is a daunting next stretch ahead of him, even if he doesn't really want to think about it or talk about it.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but everybody counted out the Georgia football team this year. There are a lot of people.
Hear that from Kirby Smart. It's, that when you're really
they don't read the media, BJ, or pay attention or anything. But whatever slipped through the cracks, they do pay attention to. Were the voices that said they weren't going to win, and that was enough, just enough of a motivation for those guys to run it back. So, that's obviously true. That's it.
Yeah, but I mean, to not know that you have a road game at Wyoming on Saturday. I mean,
obviously Leon knows, but his job, I mean, like one of his main jobs is to be a master motivator and to get his team to focus on what is in front of them. So it doesn't surprise me that has to be his message right now. Like I get it, and he is right. That is for us to talk about, and we will talk about it because, man, you look at what lies ahead, and BJ, like almost half, like 40% of their conference games are Q1 games this year. I mean, at least at the moment, there are going to be there are teams that fluctuate a little bit, but it used to be like go to San Diego State comes here, go to Colorado State. Like, it used to probably be about 5, and now you can add maybe 2-3 more to that just with how deep and strong the league is this year. So
yeah, I mean, they got 8 top 100 games left, only 7 outside the top 100, but the worst one in that is Air Force at 167, at least in the KenPom numbers. So yeah, we've talked about this, but in the past, you'd have the Nevada and San Jose and Air Forces of the world down in the 300s, just killing your numbers, for 6 of your conference games. But even the quote-unquote off nights are 151 Fresno State, 167 Air Force, and 138 Wyoming. And 133 San Jose. I mean,
as Leon said, there used to be games, which it's nice to he's now admitting that, but there used to be games where you could have your C game and you just kind of say, hey, we're gonna go down to San Jose State, we're gonna get through them. You might even rest a player or something like that, and you're gonna load up and you're gonna go for whatever's on deck. You can't really do that now. If you do that in this league, you're going to get beat. I mean, New Mexico lost to Fresno State. Wyoming is going to be a problem. Like once they get healthy, they're going to win some games too. And so that's why it's crazy that that's like the easy game coming up on Boise State's schedule, because there's no way that anybody over there would admit that's an easy game. But it certainly makes for some awesome, entertaining, exciting basketball. I said this last week on the show, BJ. It's paramount that if you want to contend for a Mountain West title this year, that you successfully defend your home floor. Well, Boise State went 2 for 2 last weekend, so now they have back-to-back road games in front of them, right? That's where you start getting, you might be able to get a little bit, pick up some extra credit, if you will, if you can go get a road game or two, and then you come back, you successfully defend your home floor before you go to New Mexico. So defending your home core is paramount, and now if you can kind of pick up a road win here and there, that's where you start to really climb the mountain, I would say, in your pursuit of defending your title.
And Boise State had some struggles at the Thomas and Mack Center over the years, whether it be in the Mountain West tournament, hadn't played particularly great down at UNLV either. But last year, Jay, 4-0 at the Thomas and Mack Center. But once again, don't try telling that to Leon Rice.
That has nothing to do with this year and has nothing to do with this game, and has, those things are for fans and media to write about and talk about it. But we don't even know that. That doesn't, I mean, you could win 100 in a row in some building and it has no effect on the next one. So that's, we got to show up. We got to play a great game, period.
And that is true. Got to show up, and that is true. But it would have to help a little bit. I mean, they're going to go back down to the place where, and that's kind of what I'm writing about, where they're going to walk in that arena. And the last time they were there, they were cutting down the nets, man. I mean, it has got to have a little bit of thought back to last year.
I would think that, maybe like their struggles were kind of plaguing them at times there, but now that they've had some success, maybe they've distanced themselves from that, and so I think maybe you can truly believe that. Like you've exercised those demons there in the past. Now you have to stay in, the graces of winning. I guess I don't know, but that is kind of interesting. That's kind of funny, man. Yeah, you're right. The last time we left that floor, there was confetti, there were ladders and scissors and nets. it was It was a really cool sight to see. And Abu Kijab's mom was there, and I mean, it was just that was kind of I remember that kind of being a cool sight when he got to embrace her.
Yeah, you had players jumping up on the tables, and it's even in our intro video with Marcus Shaver waving his arm and all the fans that had come down, and it was just an incredible couple of days with that tournament.
Yeah, it was. And now they go back and they got to pick up a win there. And I mean, these are the games that I think you really just Jordan. Some of us had tears. Yeah, we probably. Some of the this is kind of a game, BJ, where you feel like you start to find out who's going to be in the middle of this conference and who's going to start to kind of separate themselves and be at the top of this thing. I mean, UNLV is a good squad. Playing them on their home floor won't be easy because it is a quad one game for Boise State. But I think that if you get a win here, you're going to feel pretty good about yourself. I mean, I know that they're not going to be able to celebrate that long because they got to get up to Laramie and try to pick up a win at altitude and all that stuff. But if you get a win here, like these are the games that I think kind of make people around the country go, okay, Boise State, they're not the middle, they're not a 4-5 team, they're a 1-3 team in the Mountain West this year, and give them a little bit more credibility and some due, man. I mean, they're 35 in the net rankings. It took them a few more weeks to climb that high last year, and they made the NCAA tournament last year, right? So they have to like their positioning right now, feel good about where they're at, and if they pick up a win at UNLV, then things really start to gain momentum.
It is crazy though, like one win and you go 19 spots up. Like it is a big jump at this point in the season, but but they're still fourth, and the full Leon Rice interview is up on our Bronco Nation News YouTube channel. I'm sure KTVB has it as well. But Leon was talking about the fact that there are, not only that, there's 3 Mountain West teams ahead of them, with Nevada and Utah State and San Diego State. So you mentioned all the quad one games left, but I mean, to be 35th and still have 3 teams ahead of you is a really good sign moving forward. Now in the ICCU YouTube chat, Jordan does say, have they ever had Greg McVeigh there cheering them on? Not sure. Greg is our contest winner who's heading down tomorrow on the private jet. I don't know if he's been to Las Vegas or not, but we got a nice little goodie bag for him. Cutwater Spirits provided some Cutwaters. So I think Matt Bauscher and company, Jay, are going to be feeling pretty good by 9 p.m. Mountain Time for that game tomorrow night. They're going to have some beverages and a nice dinner down on the Strip, and it's going to be a fun day tomorrow for our contest winner. And Colin Mitchell is flying down on the jet with them, and we'll have video, and we're going to put a little package together. And then hoping to get Greg and Matt Bauscher on the pregame show tomorrow night live right before the game. But kind of a cool day. We did the contest for a while, and then with the kind of see it now coming to fruition tomorrow, I am looking forward to that part of this trip as well.
That'll be awesome, man. It'll be really cool. I bet you Greg's gonna have a blast. I was talking about this with a buddy of mine last night. Going down to Vegas for this game kind of had me thinking about the Mountain West tournament. I think going to the conference tournaments, if you haven't been, if I was just a fan, I would rather go to the conference tournament, to Vegas for the conference tournament, than I would for the actual NCAA tournament, because you can actually watch games in Las Vegas if you're there for conference tournaments. You can go to a number of different conference tournaments, and there are just games galore. Like if you're waiting for your team to play, whether it's at noon or midnight, you can get up or stay up late and watch other games and have fun. So if I was looking to go to one or the other, I would definitely choose conference time over NCAA tournament time.
Well, if you're doing that, make sure you stay at Circa Resort and Casino. They're our official casino sponsor down there in Las Vegas. It's they got Stadium Swim open 365 days a year. That's where Greg and Matt Bauscher and everybody will be staying on this trip at Circa Resort and Casino. So, if you head on down to the Mountain West tournament, we'd love to have you. Get a room at Circa. It's pretty affordable that week. And then, it's a little nicer than, say, your Excalibur or some of your lower-end ones, but you're also getting a huge jump in terms of the quality. I mean, it's literally a 2-year-old hotel. So all the lighting, all that stuff digital. I mean, it's pretty impressive. So, and we're hoping to do another kind of gathering the night before the tournament starts over there at Circa. You had Jeremiah Dickey and a lot of the senior staff stop by to the event last year, so that was pretty cool. So we're hoping to get a big event going the night before. So make your plans now. Yeah, perfect time. Come down to Vegas. Looks like the team's going to be good at doing well again down there. And if you do, make plans to stay at Circa, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Jordan says that conference tournament was as good as the Fiesta Bowls he's been to. He will join Jay in preaching this to anyone that doesn't get it. Perry says UNLV coming off a huge road win. Hopefully that works against them. You were looking at a situation, Jay, where if UNLV would have lost to New Mexico, which is what you figured would happen, UNLV would have been 0-3 in league play, and they would have probably come back as determined and ticked off as ever. Not to say that this helps them if they won the game. They're obviously going to be feeling good coming off a win. But the backs against the wall type thing might not be as bad as it would have been had they lost to New Mexico and been pissed off at 0-3.
Yeah, I mean, that's when you kind of go into full desperation mode. I will say this, though, even 1-3, man, like in this league, you really start to maybe separate yourself in the negative direction. And on top of that, I just mentioned how important it is for Boise State to defend their home floor. Sure. There are other teams around the conference that feel that sense of urgency as well. So getting back home, you better believe that the Redmond Rebels are going to be fired up to try to get this thing back in the right direction. I mean, that's a team that really started off the season hot. I think they won something like their first 10 games or something. I can't remember exactly, BJ, but now they're in a little bit of a stretch where they've lost, 3 out of their last 5 and a couple of those in conference play.
Yep.
So
New Mexico and UNLV were 2 of the last, 5, 6, 7 undefeated teams in the entire country, and they've both slipped up here of late.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, and you look at it too, their losses at San Jose State, that's kind of a tough one right out of the gate because that might be still one that you do underestimate a little bit, and the Spartans were able to get them. Losing at home versus San Diego State, I mean, that kind of is what it is. There's going to be lots of teams around the league that lose to San Diego State this year. So going to the pit and picking up a win at New Mexico, that's definitely a nice little feather in the cap. That probably erases any of the, maybe those first 2 losses. So that's a big win for them to go there and get that one, and it shows that they're kind of the real deal. So. It'll be a good game, man. It'll be fun. It's just awesome is recovering this team to not really go, tonight's game probably won't be that exciting, or just we'll just kind of chalk up a win for Boise State and kind of get a head start on some other things or whatever. You just can't really do that, despite the fact you might believe in the Broncos quite a bit this year. It's just going to be a tough league. Every night you have to respect.
Yeah, and you got 4 Mountain West games tonight. Tomorrow night will be the only game of in the Mountain West, Boise State, UNLV. Everybody else is playing tonight. The big one, the headliner, not till 9 p.m. Mountain Time. It is Nevada at San Diego State, the top 2 teams in the league. If you're a Boise State fan, I want to say you're actually probably rooting for Nevada in that game because San Diego State doesn't look like to me they're going to lose a lot of games on the home court. I think if you get a chance to have Nevada steal a road win, I think you probably would take that if but maybe it's still too early. We're quarter of the way through the season to be worried about that kind of stuff. But Nevada's already San Diego State already has a win at UNLV. So you start looking where San Diego State's got potential losses. I don't see a ton on their schedule. So if they're playing a team like Nevada, who looks like a good team, you like to see that there. And the other kind of decent, sneaky big game is Utah State, Wyoming. Wyoming looked a lot better against San Diego State the other day. That game is at Utah State as Utah State tries to bounce back from the loss to Boise State the other day. You've got Air Force, Colorado State tonight as well. That game is at Colorado State. And then you've got San Jose and Fresno. That's an intriguing game there. 2 teams kind of right towards the middle / bottom of the Mountain West numbers, but 2 solid teams. So we'll see San Jose State and Fresno as well. So 4 games in the Mountain West tonight, Jay.
Yeah, and I mean, we haven't really talked since a lot about that Utah State game, at least you and I haven't. But I think a big theme for Boise State in that game was some contributions from the bench. I mean, they really need some punch off the bench, and to see what Jace Whiting was able to prove that he can be a scorer too, in addition to a guy that's very steady. And then Kobe Young, his athleticism, going up and getting 6 rebounds. those are things that they're going to need from their bench. And seeing those guys perform when Chibuzo Abo and both and Marcus Shaver Jr. are in foul trouble, that's going to be a massive lift in terms of confidence. And Leon Rice going back to that, and hopefully they can find some consistency out of those guys that I just mentioned off the bench. But I thought that was a huge takeaway, despite the fact it was a 23-point blowout. And even if you add up the bench points, Boise State still would have won that game. I still think those were massive takeaways from an otherwise dominant performance against Utah State.
Well, big game tomorrow against UNLV. We'll have full coverage. Again, I'll be live at the Circa Sportsbook there in Las Vegas for tomorrow morning's show. We'll have full coverage all day, and then Colin Mitchell and myself both will be in the Thomas and Mack Center tomorrow night with full coverage for Bronco Nation News. We got about 5 minutes left. I want to switch to football, but first I want to tell you about a couple of our great sponsors. Check out Ridley's Family Markets. Go download their new app, the Ridley's app. They got all kinds of exclusive deals and things in there. Check out the new Ridley's app and find a location near you at shopridleys.com. The Blue and Orange Store, get 40% off. That's right. Get a $40 order and get free shipping. That's right. A free shipping. They'll take off about, that's like $10 off or something from the shipping. So make an order of $40 and you get free shipping online, theblueandorangestore.com. You can go in to their store as well, the second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall. Matt Bauscher, BauscherRealEstate.com. He's pumped up for the trip to Vegas. Rumor is he might even be buying dinner for the crew, Jay, tomorrow night. So we really, really appreciate Matt Bauscher and him coming on this trip and being a big supporter of Bronco Nation News. So BauscherRealEstate.com, the number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. You can get more information, BauscherRealEstate.com. And again, we appreciate him. If you're looking to lower the business insurance rate for your business, how about United Commercial Insurance? Check them out, 229-8222 at United Commercial Insurance. They make business insurance easy. And if you're looking for a new dentist, how about BoiseDentistryCo.com? They can help you out. Full family dentistry. My kids go there. My wife goes there. I go there. We love it. We're so happy we made the switch. And again, you can get more information, find a location near you at BoiseDentistryCo.com. And if you're looking for a new job, how about becoming a truck driver? It's a perfect industry right now. You can be out on your own on the open road, and I'm talking everything from the big rig on your screen to the Amazon truck in your neighborhood and everything in between. Get more information, let them handle all the permits and things, and get you out there towing that first load in no time at transcompservice.com. Jay, we got about 5 minutes left here. I do want to talk football. I guess a little less than 5 minutes, but I want to talk some football because winter conditioning workouts have started. Me and Prater kind of touched on this yesterday. New strength coach, obviously. I filled in on Idaho Sports Talk yesterday, and we kind of did a little fun segment where we picked some guys that needed to get bigger, stronger, faster in the offseason. Kind of picked a different guy at each category. But new strength coach, they're back in school, back working out, but still unknown about some of these key sixth-year seniors. I'm expecting Dimitri Washington to come back. I am. I just think that I don't think he wants it to end like that. DJ Schramm, I really think is 50-50 up in the air. And I should say this, by this point, I think the decisions have been made because you're either in school or not. We just don't know the answers to that. But you've got Garrett Curran, Billy Bowens, some key guys. What are your thoughts on the COVID guys, and who do you think's back or not, or just the fact that it's kind of interesting that Boise State not ready to announce that yet, even though they're back working out and in school?
Yeah, that's I guess it is what it is. I mean, usually no information. I mean, that's usually the route that we probably go with that stuff, right? Like it just takes time. I don't know. It is what it is. But I think that you look at the importance of that group, and man, like it would be certainly nice to bring a couple guys like DJ Schramm and Dimitri Washington back on that defense. Two guys that have a lot of experience, a lot of production, and that'd be great for them. If you could add Garrett Curran back to the mix on that offensive line too, you feel a little bit more confident in in that group moving forward. So there are some. I think the thing about it, BJ, is every guy you mentioned, that's a borderline starter, if not a clear cut starter, right? And so that's why it could tip the scales, pretty big one direction or the other. And I mean, we're now 3 weeks out from early signing from the second signing day. And I expect Boise State to kind of get after the portal, and so depending on if those guys come back or not, they already know. I mean, I agree with you. They already know, but depending on if those guys come back or not, that could certainly change how you attack, the transfer portal. I will say this, you look at a lot of these guys that have received offers from Boise State when it comes to the transfer portal, I haven't seen a lot of linebackers, at least middle linebackers, right? And so Maybe that suggests that the DJ is coming back or not. I don't know, but I just haven't really seen them trying to. And maybe they have, and we just aren't seeing it, play out in front of us publicly. But I haven't really seen, very many transfer middle linebackers on the recruiting radar at the moment.
No. And OK Bro Chill says, got to bring in some stout O linemen to support that explosive backfield. Bronco Nation update says if Schramm comes back, leads the D and produces like 22, he could have a path to the NFL. Put the vocational pursuit on ice. Back to basketball real quick. JT says, sorry, B-ball question. Why aren't the assistant coaches made available? They are if you ask for them. We talked to Tim Duryea last year. I'm actually doing a feature story. Not crazy about it. I guess I'll say it. Why not? I am doing a pretty cool story on Mike Burns. I think he deserves some credit for what he's doing with the defense the last 2 years, and he's a very unique, interesting guy. If you ever wanted a guy to go have a beer with, Mike Burns has stories to tell for days, and I'm working on a cool little feature on him that'll come out in the next 10 days or so. So, the assistant coaches are made available to the media. So, Jay, that'll wrap it up. Appreciate your time as always. I got to go meet the mouse exterminator here and write a bigger check than I'd like to hopefully get rid of this problem. So when you're a homeowner, man, as you know, it's something different every day. It's the garbage disposal. It's the lawnmower break-in. It's something, and it's the heater. We just put in a brand new air conditioner and heater over the winter. That was a nice, $8,000 or $9,000 bill. And then you come home and you got mice in your house. So it never ends, but hopefully it ends here pretty soon with the mice.
Mouse in the house.
That's right. Thought I had two little ones. They were my kids, but no, we're stuck with the real ones here. But Jay, appreciate you as always. We'll be watching KTVB all week. A lot of stuff going on with basketball and maybe some football news coming out on the Super Seniors at some point here. But appreciate you, man, and we'll be watching you and Brady, and we'll be talking to you soon, man.
Sounds good, bud.
There he is, Jay Tust. That'll do it for today's show. Have a great day. We appreciate your time. And again, we'll be live tomorrow, 9 a.m. Mountain Time from the Circa Resort. It's 8 a.m. in Vegas. That means I got to get some rest tonight. Circa Resort and Casino will be live tomorrow with our show, getting you ready for the UNLV game tomorrow night. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.